Hello and welcome to my channel Elemental Education. So today's video is the continuation part of the last video we have made on sources of energy. So this is part 2. So in today's video we will be studying more details about the fossil fuels, then thermal power plant, then we will be going for what is the pollution caused by the fossil fuels, then how we are controlling the pollution and the effect of industrialization. So if you have watched my first video on the sources of energy, you might have realized that we have discussed briefly about fossil fuels. So what is a fossil fuel? Let me just revise that. Fossil fuel is the dead remains of the plants which get buried inside the earth crust, and due to high temperature and pressure and absence of oxygen, they are converted into fossils. So they are categorized into coal, petroleum, coal, petroleum and natural gas. LPG is not part of fossil fuel, it's a derivative. Before going to the details of these fossil fuels, let us understand what is the ultimate source of energy. Although these are sources of energy, what is the backside, or who is powering these sources of energy? Sun is called as ultimate source of energy. Why? Why sun is called ultimate source of energy? When there is a plant, it prepares its food from the sun. How? It takes water from the soil, and all the minerals also go in the water. Then in the presence of sunlight, it prepares food. So it grows. So that process is known as photosynthesis. We know well. So ultimately sun is the source of energy, because we animals, we eat plants. Herbivorous animals take plant. So animals also indirectly take energy from sun. So ultimate source of energy is sun. Whatever in the universe, all the sources of energy, they derive energy from our sun. Now let us go for our first topic, that is what is a coal. What is a coal then? Coal is a mixture of complex compounds of hydrocarbons. Like hydrocarbons are made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygens. So this complex mixture, they form some compounds, right? They form some compounds. These compounds together, they form coal. So in that we have found some traces of sulfur and nitrogen, and also some free carbons, So coal is a source of energy for us because it has high calorific value. We have already studied in our previous video what is the calorific value of a fuel. So high calorific value means it gives more energy when we are burning small amount of coal. So coal is also used in our home and industry. In thermal power plant we use coal to generate electricity. Similarly, in our earlier days we were using coal engines in our trains. So coal is a source of energy for us. Now we will going for another derivative of coal, that is called coke. Don't misunderstood the coke we are drinking, that beverage. It's not coke, Coca-Cola. Coke is something, it is derived from coal. Then what is coke? Let us discuss. Coke is produced when coal is going through a process known as destructive distillation. What is destructive distillation? Destructive distillation is a process when you are heating coal, in the absence of oxygen. That means it should not get burned or oxidized. So we are removing oxygen, or in vacuum we are heating it to a higher temperature. So what happens? There are some volatile matters that get released. Once the volatile matter is released, right, then the remaining amount is known as coke. It is full of carbon. Coke is full of carbon. If we see the percentage of carbon in it, it contains almost 98% of carbon. Coke contains 98% of carbon in it. So that makes a better fuel than coal. Coke is better than coal. Why? Coke, when it burns, it never produces smoke, or after burning it never leaves any residue amount. So compared to coal, coke is used. And moreover, coke is used in industrial purposes also. Why? Coke is used as some reducing agent for extraction of metals like iron, aluminium. So coke is used as a reducing agent. That we will be studying in chemistry. Now let us see what is petroleum. Petroleum is derived from two words known as petra and oleum. This petra is rock, oleum is oil. So petroleum is otherwise known as rock oil. Why? Petroleum is buried inside the earth crust, like we have seen fossil fuels are found. So similar cases, fossil fuels is, petroleum is a kind of fossil fuel. So if this is the layer of earth, right, this is earth, this is the layer of earth. So petroleum is found somewhere here under the rocks, non-porous rocks. Non-porous rocks. So petroleum, along with petroleum, natural gas is found. Natural gas is also found. So this petroleum is a mixture of, then when we are digging oil wells and getting petrol, right? So how many things are coming out? Petroleum is mixture of hydrocarbons anyways. So with that we are getting particles of our earth crust, that is some rocks particles will be getting, some water will be getting, some gas and some hydrocarbons. So those things are coming along with petroleum. So petroleum directly we cannot utilize for our daily purposes. So it is getting refined in our refineries. Let us see what are the components of petroleum. So what petroleum consists of? Petroleum, when we are refining it, right, in our refineries, what will be getting? We'll be getting petroleum gas. Petroleum gas. This natural gas is actually existing on top of petroleum. Like when we are digging oil wells, right, natural gas comes out first, then this petroleum is extracted. So this time when we are refining the petroleum, we are getting petroleum gas, then petrol or gasoline, then diesel, then we are getting kerosene and fuel oil. These 5 things we are getting when we are doing refinery. So fuel oil is at this, see, this is the decreasing order of purity. Petroleum gas is highly pure, petrol is comparatively impure, diesel is little more impure than petrol, kerosene is quite more impure than diesel. Fuel oil, although it is the last substance to be found in the distillation process, it is still good for burning or for our uses. Why? It is better than coal. Why? Coal produces large amount of smoke, but it produces very little amount of smoke and it does not leave any residue, unlike coal. We understood how the petroleum gas is extracted in refining process. So petroleum gas is the first thing to be extracted while refining petroleum or crude oil. Now let us understand what this petroleum gas contains and what is its uses. See, petroleum gas contains mostly butane. Okay. So petroleum gas, when they are compressed, right, due to high pressure, when you are giving high pressure, it is getting compressed and this gas is liquefied. This gas is liquefied. So this liquefied gas is known as liquefied petroleum gas or LPG. Those are packed in our gas cylinders and are delivered in our home. This gas is known as LPG. Now there is no need to introduce what is LPG. You guys already know what is LPG. Now let us see. This LPG is very good for our cooking because it doesn't give any smoke, it burns It satisfies everything of a good characteristics of a fuel. Now let us see, if although it's a gas, if there is some leakage in the gas, then how we will know? Because this LPG doesn't have any smell, we cannot see it, okay? It's not visible, it's a gas. So how we will know? See, ethyl mercaptan is a compound, ethyl mercaptan, C2H5SH. So this material or this compound is mixed with butane in the LPG cylinder, so that whenever there is a leakage you can smell it. Whenever there is a leakage you can smell it. So why LPG is used? LPG burns without any smoke, first thing. Second thing is it burns in a blue flame. Third thing is we can control the flow of LPG because it's a gas. Fourth thing is it doesn't leave any residue like cow dung, coal, those things. So you don't have any issue. When you are getting a cylinder of gas, we are using it, it's getting empty, we are returning the cylinder. There is no residue, no ashes formed. So this is the benefit of LPG. So our next topic is natural gas. So what is a natural gas? Natural gas is a gas that is found under earth crust. So if we see, along with petroleum, we know petroleum is found, the fossil fuels are found, along with petroleum natural gas can be found, or above petroleum natural gas occurs in the earth crust. Then, so natural gas, how it is formed? Natural gas is formed by decomposition of the vegetative materials which are lying under the sea or under the water. So that vegetative materials are decomposed by anaerobic bacteria in the absence of oxygen. So when there is no oxygen, so those decomposition gives to natural gas. This decomposition gives us to natural gas. Then we must say what is the component in natural gas, what is composed of? Natural gas is composed of mostly methane, CH4. So this methane along with propane, some traces of propane. So mostly 95% of methane is present in the natural gas. So some traces of propane and ethane are also there, composed of natural gas. Now where natural gases are used, we know LPG is mostly of butane, composed of butane. So LPG is used in our home for our cooking purposes. Where natural gas is used? Natural gas is used in transportation. When it is compressed, right, that is known as CNG, compressed natural gas. So you might have heard in some cities like Delhi and some other cities, we are using CNG for transportation of our buses and trucks. So that CNG is nothing but natural gas, that is compressed. So this natural gas is used, sometimes it is used in our home also. We might not know, but in some places they are using, instead of LPG they are using compressed natural gas for cooking. Mostly widely in India we are using CNG for transportation purpose and for industrial appliances. So let us go for thermal power plant. What is a thermal power plant? Thermal power plant is a power plant that generates electricity by burning some fuel, that is, in this furnace we are burning some coal or natural gas. So let us understand from this diagram how a thermal power plant operates. So thermal power plant, this is the boiler unit. So it contains some water and under that there is a furnace, that is a furnace or it's a source of energy. When there is some coal or some natural gas, something it's burning, this will heat the water. So that in turn produces steam. This steam travels through this pipe and it is going to another chamber where there is a turbine attached. So in this chamber there is a turbine. So this steam has high energy that will heat these blades of this turbine. So in turn it will rotate. So this rotation is transferred to the via a shaft. This is a shaft. It is transferred to this generator. There is a generator outside this turbine assembly unit. So this generator in turn produces electricity. After this steam is hitting this, right, turbine blades, it will lose its energy. Ultimately, it will be spent. So this energy is spent. So this is known as spent steam. So this will be converted into water droplets. Again, it goes through the pipe and reaches the boiler unit. So this is the whole working principle of thermal power plant. So we have in thermal power plant, mostly why it is known as thermal power plant, heat energy is converted to electricity. So this heat is produced by the coal or natural gas. So we have so many thermal power plants in our country. So the states where there are no rivers, then we cannot build a hydroelectric power plant. So in those places we are building thermal power plant. In thermal power plant we can use coal or natural gas to produce electricity. So although electricity is very clean form of energy, but this thermal power plant in turn produces some smoke due to burning of this fuel. That is harmful for our health. So it has merits and demerits as well. So now let us move to our next topic. So our next topic is pollution caused by fossil fuels. So we know fossil fuels are of 4 types, right? Coal, petroleum, natural gas, 3 types mostly. So when we are burning these fossil fuels, any petroleum product or coal, what is the effect of it, or what is the pollution, how the pollution is created? Now when we are burning some fossil fuel, it produces some harmful gas like SO2, NO2. These gases in turn gives to acidic rains, and we know that acidic rains are very harmful for living organisms, and also it is harmful for the monuments made of marble like Taj Mahal, everything. So those are harmful effect of these harmful gases. So this is the first demerit of burning the fossil fuels. Second one is it produces lot of carbon dioxide. We know carbon is the main substance present in our fossil fuel. So when it burns, it combines with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is in turn released into the atmosphere. So it goes to the atmosphere and causes increase in the carbon dioxide content. Now third thing is smoke. So when it is burning, right, lot of smoke is produced. Compared to some cleanest fuel like we are using solar energy, wind energy, we will be studying in our next video. So those fuels, they don't give any smoke, but these fossil fuels, they give smoke. So those are also harmful for us. And moreover, when we are burning a coal, it gives ashes. That is, this ash is a residue left after burning of coal. However, coal is good because of its high calorific value. Because of these 4 conditions, it is not widely used these days. Coals we are not widely using. So our next topic is how we can control the pollution. So our next topic for discussion is controlling pollution. So how we can control pollution? Now we know that petroleum, right, the derivatives of petroleum are petrol and diesel. We are using it as a fuel in our vehicles. So those causes pollution due to the smoke released in it. And the hydrocarbons, right, they burn to give CO2, carbon monoxide, sulfur is also present, so SO2. So these gases, how we can control it? We can fit some instrument in our vehicles known as catalytic converters. So what is the use of catalytic converters? These catalytic converters, when they are fitted in a vehicle, they will convert this gas, harmful gases, right, before releasing into the atmosphere, they will convert into non-harmful gases. Suppose carbon monoxide is present, it is releasing. So carbon monoxide is comparatively more dangerous than the carbon dioxide. So it will get fully burnt in the catalytic converter, giving birth to carbon dioxide. So it can be released to the atmosphere. Similarly, nitrous oxide, they can be released as nitrogen dioxide. So those gases are not harmful. This is the use of catalytic converter. So this is the first way we can control pollution. Second way, how we can control pollution? By using scrubbers. What is a scrubber? Scrubber is a tank where these harmful gases released by these plants or factories, they are getting washed by water jet. So harmful gases will be absorbed in water before they should not be released into the atmosphere. So this is the benefit of using scrubber in our plants. So third point is, we have chimneys, right? So in that chimneys we can use electrostatic precipitator. Electrostatic precipitator. What is the use of electrostatic precipitator? It absorbs the harmful gases before getting released into the chimneys. Those we can fit in our industries to stop the increasing of pollution these days. So when there is a smoke releasing in the chimneys, right, generally what happens, some fly gases, some particle of carbon, they also get into the atmosphere or into the air. So this electrostatic precipitator, they absorb them, so that this carbon gases, everything is released somewhere else instead of leaving it to the environment. So we know how to control the effect of pollution. Effect of pollution by fossil fuels, how we are controlling this pollution. Now let's go to the last topic of our video, that is effect of industrialization. We know what is industrialization. Industrialization is a process where we are setting up new factories to improve our manufacturing standards. Like suppose there are some new vehicles launched. Now these vehicles were imported earlier from China, Japan, Germany. Now these companies, they have decided to set up factories in India so that they will give employment to our countrymen, and also it will be easier for them because they don't have to procure goods from outside. They will procure the raw materials from here, and the manpower also they will get at a cheaper cost. So they are putting the factories here. So what is industrialization? This is the process called industrialization. Then what is the effect? For industrialization, when we are setting up factories, we know electricity is needed, water is also needed. So these things we produce by burning fossil fuels. So three things are happening here. Although this industrialization is giving employment, what is the harmful effect it is causing to our environment? Let us see. First thing is fossil fuels. So we are burning fossil fuels to produce the heat or electricity in terms to drive our motors and some other machineries. Due to industrialization, we need energy. That energy we are getting in terms of electricity. So we are setting up thermal power plant, or inside the factory itself we are getting energy from thermal power plant. So what this thermal power plant do? They burn fossil fuels. So when we are burning fossil fuels, there are so many disadvantages or harm to the environment. See, first thing is, this fossil fuel causes so much smoke, and they also release some harmful gases to our environment. So this is a disadvantage. Second one is, we are digging up fossil fuels at a faster rate because there is an increase in demand of these fossil fuels. So eventually what will happen, after some days or after some years, these fossil fuels will get depleted or it will get exhausted. This is the demerit. And third thing is, we are getting so many diseases these days, waterborne diseases and some lung diseases, breathing issues, because of this harmful gases, smoke, harmful gases in our air. And even these residues, right, the residues and chemicals, they are released into the water bodies like ocean, sea. So in terms it reaches inside our body, because these fishes inside the sea and ocean, they eat that, they take that. So they contain some heavy metals also, some indigestible plastics, so many carbon compounds. So in terms, we fetch them, we fetch the fishes and we cook and eat. Ultimately it comes to our body and we are affected by the diseases. So these are the dark side of industrialization. Although industrialization is good, it is good for the developing countries, but eventually it gives birth to these many demerits. So this is the end of my video, that is sources of energy part 2. I'll be coming up with further videos. If you haven't subscribed my channel, please go to YouTube and subscribe Elemental Education and hit the bell icon as well, so that whenever I'm coming with the next parts, right, you will get the notification at the same instant. And please like, if you do like my content, whatever I am teaching you, if you like my content, please do give a like and comment if you have any doubts in the same video, and please share with everybody so that it will be beneficial for others also. And I have made several other videos on different chapters, electricity, magnetic effect of electricity. You can find them on my channel Elemental Education. Please go watch those videos. If you still have some doubt, you can comment on those videos. I'll be helping out over there. So guys, this is all for today. Thanks and bye bye.